This is McCook's Mr. Bill. You're on Donzie 52 channel. This is my $400 car. I bought it in '01. It's been a good workhorse for me, I'm here to tell you. It's driven a lot of miles for me and done it very inexpensively, I'm here to tell you. Unlike them $30,000 and $40,000 cars a lot of people think they have to have. But the school is getting started here in just a couple of weeks. And so I'd like to give you a warning and an option that you may not be thinking about. See, the school, that means there's going to be a lot more people out on the road, coming and going, taking their kids to school, but also for young people driving. Learner's permit they can get at 15, and of course driver's licenses at 16. And of course that means danger to all if those kids don't have some serious training and realize just what can happen in that car. Now I understand they got driver's ed nowadays, I understand that, but considering there's usually what, 20 to a class, there's very little education, actual on-hands education that they get from that. You as a parent, a guardian, or close relative would be very wise to consider giving them some driving education yourself. I'm not going to tell you what to do other than to tell you what I did. When I would work part-time at the ranch, I'd take 30 minutes off and I'd put my kids in the car with me beside them at 12 years old and have them drive around in the yard. Drive around in that country yard. And then finally drive up and back on the lane till they got used to that and the feel of the car at 12 years old, both of my girls. And finally out on the county roads where they learned real quick what loose sand means. What loose sand means. And it also taught them that why to say, you know, on the far side when you're coming up to a crest of a county road, because every once in a while a truckload of cattle will come popping over there, and if you was in the middle you'd have been killed. There's all sorts of things that you need to teach your young people. And as they aged, I also took the next step and I said punch it. Feel the power of that car. And so they did speed. They pushed the limit because I was there beside them and I could keep it under control as far as I was concerned. And they learned that power. And they didn't have to get in the car the first time at 16 and say, I wonder what it feels like. Because they already knew. And they knew how to handle the car. They already had that experience. One of the reasons I did that is because I went to Juanita High School 1 year and then Trenton 3 years. In that time period, 6 young people were killed in car accidents. 6. Of those 6 young people, and they were individual wrecks, not 2 in 1 wreck type thing. 2 of the wrecks though, the young people that were driving asked me to go along with them, and I didn't go. That's how close I came to being a paraplegic or dead. That's right. It is not just a thing back then when kids had 396 4-barrel cars, hot rods, GTXs, GTOs, some of the rich kids, because I never had a car in school myself. And when I did buy my car, or first vehicle, it was a 1951 3/4 ton pickup. It'd go about 50 mile an hour top end. Be that as it may. The thing of it is that if you think it happened just then and not now. I'm Mr. Bill on the candy truck for 30 years. And I've heard dozens and dozens of stories every year of kids speeding. And so I did a little unscientific test here in the last week. I had roughly 30 high school age kids come to my truck, and of those 30 kids, about half girls, half boys, I asked, have you ever broken the speed limit? Have you ever speeded? Have you ever put the foot to the pedal to the metal? And of that 30, all 30 admitted to Mr. Bill that they had broken the speed limit. All 30 of them. Some of them as high as 125, 130 mile an hour is some of the top speeds I heard. And they told it with honor and with like courage and like they had accomplished something. 100% of them had tried it. So if by chance you think that your child would never do that, you might want to take a step back. Because the urge to have speed and the power that the car gives them, unbridled power, and they think inside there that they're inside something like a tank where they can never be harmed. And the youth that doesn't look ahead and say, this might be a problem until it's too late. You are the parent. You are the best one to decide how to handle it. I told you how I did, and I've never regretted it. Never. Keep your kids safe on the highway. And if you don't teach them yourself, you may well end up at their bedside in a hospital looking down at one of yours that's now paraplegic. Or you may be standing beside a coffin looking at one of yours. This is McCook's Mr. Bill saying, this isn't a video game. Rate this film.